already got what the data mathematics is, right? So, then, the person name who started this nation, again, King? I'm sorry, what's his name? That started the father, so what's his name?
Allah.
Allah, okay, thank you. What year? Do you know the year this nation started?
October 10, 1964.
What do you do? You can date, month, date and all that. 1964, yes, still correct. 1964, okay. And we went to different places, and I thank everybody for that too. There was a point I was talking about the phones also. Do you remember? I was talking about the telephones earlier. Remember? What was I talking about? Did anybody remember?
Technology.
Yeah, technology. Yes, technology.
You're talking about how technology is like pretty much like taking our knowledge away and not making it so we have to use our brains, but so we use our technology.
I'm done. All right, class over. No. Yes. Although we need, all the above. All the above. Thank you. Excellent. Damn, you attentive. Okay, yes. And it's important that we, that's understood. That's where we are now. During this period, nothing
was there. Nothing.
Yeah, well, other than dinosaurs, yeah, you're right, nothing was there. Let me tell you what was there though. Right, okay, you point to your brain, but what's that? Go ahead.
I'm pointing to my brain because the only thing that was there was using your knowledge to show your wisdom through understanding.
Okay, so I definitely need to sit down now, unless you take over. Yeah, yes, that was the rule of thumb, always. Always, yes, excellent. Couldn't have said that no better. Right, so that kind of, we jumpstart over a few things. That's always the case, right. And a lot of times, if you don't use technology correctly and don't use those principles, you get lost in translation. You get like the court gesture, but like a lot of times certain movies or certain there displays that. Although it's fiction, but there's a lot of relationship to it. You get so caught up in TV, you just get caught up and you lose focus of what's going on around you. Right, instead of utilizing it, because that's where we are now. Yes.
For like how movies and art, how fiction connects with the real thing is because, or I think because how the movie doesn't just start out of a thing. It has to start out of an accumulation of facts. It doesn't just appear through
like a beginning, middle, and end.
Hmm?
You mean like a beginning, middle, and end?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
So
what you
like,
mean.
it doesn't start without an accumulation of facts because you can't. They're not just making stuff up. Like as you see, there's the USA or they're in the USA. So that's a fact or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're in New York. That's in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
They're still getting stuff from the real thing, even though it's fiction. It's
based off of reality.
yes.
Yeah. Great. Wow. Thank you. So we meet again. Right? Okay, yeah. And and a lot of times I'll show you reality through a movie. Right? Knowing that you won't get it. It was already foreseen when it was coming up that this would be. I too said, nah, you know when we first learned about, listen to this one. You know when we first learned about the iPhone? Guess when I first learned about the iPhone?
I'm gonna say iPhone came, or when you first learned about it.
See?
Peace.
My name is?
My name is Deshaun.
Peace, Deshaun.
They call me Day. Nice to meet you.
Peace.
How y'all doing? Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Okay.
I think you probably learned about it 1990, late 1990, early 2000.
No. You know we learned about it? Through a cartoon called Dick Tracy. That's right.
First cartoon with the watch.
Yes, there you go, guys. Listen.
Right.
Look. So look. Dick Tracy's a cartoon detective. Dick Tracy was a detective. The man's name was Sam. But anyway, Dick Tracy had this watch. All right, calling all calls. You got smartphones, right? This was back then, but we looked at that. We were children like you. That's fantastic.
This is like in the 70s.
Yeah, yes.
Right.
60s,
I make
70s.
a lot of comments.
Yeah, okay, so we get kind of cloudy. This is beautiful. Can someone give him a chair? And, yo, I'm gonna put you, can you please sit right here?
Yeah.
Like in the middle? So here, let me get you. Your name is?
Wiseborn.
Wiseborn?
Yes.
Okay, Wiseborn, he sit right here, Wiseborn. Because we taping. You go, beautiful, where you from?
Venezuela.
Okay, what brings you, are you from Venezuela? You live there or you're here? But you're from Venezuela?
I was born there, but I moved here when I was 7 years old.
Okay, so you've been here since you were 7.
Since I was 7.
Okay, where are you from in New York?
I'm actually from Victory Law,
Oh, you from Virginia?
Virginia.
Okay, Pete, are you coming from Victory Law here to the
yeah.
class?
Yeah, with some of the brothers.
Okay, with you, man, five? Yeah, okay, Pete. Okay, got you. Pleasure, all three of you, pleasure. Yeah, so, yeah, go, you were speaking, young girl?
I was saying.
Well, we was talking about Dick Tracy. You was kind of you was kind of like lost with
Do you
that
know
one.
about? Have you heard
Yeah.
of Dick Tracy?
No, but it sounds like it was a TV or cartoon or whatever that introduced iPhone or smartwatches or whatever from like
Yes, yes. Go, keep going.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
rub on me.
From like the cartoon, so it was actually created for the cartoon, and from the cartoon, the reality made it like
Yeah, okay.
made it from the cartoon.
Well, take it from your words. I'm gonna take it from your words now. So they see. Oh wait.
What they observed, learned.
Okay.
You said
Okay.
observe, learn.
Okay.
Yeah,
Please complete that. Please deploy.
They observed,
Learn.
learned, and what's the last one? Dang it. I forgot
Study?
the last study. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is prerequisite for knowledge. Listen to this here. If you don't know nothing else in this class, that's not knowledge. But you need to do that in order to acquire it. You need to look. You need to listen, and you need to study. You need to respect it and learn it. Right, yes. And then, yeah, and see, again, mathematics constantly being utilized. Because that's what prerequisite. They even utilized it. Wait a minute, hold up. There's a little something going on with this. When we was coming up, the computer was about as big as this, almost this room. It went from maybe your father's chair to her. How we first introduced to that, I believe one of them was, what was the name of that movie? It was a movie, anyway, right? How was the,
2001 Space Odyssey.
yeah, 2001, yeah. Yeah, right, that one. Right, so now listen, but these were the brainchilds, like you did, we're going to start out with that. Here we are, fast forward. Look where we are, right? You can talk to a watch now. Like you don't even laugh at that no more. In fact, I and I don't know, I might be the only one. We come from these days. You know what I'm doing?
The projector. Like,
No, close, but no, that's the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, messed your
Rotary
brain
phone.
up, did you? Yeah. Let me call Master I in Washington. 915.
Oh, you're turning the dial. You're turning the
Yes,
dial.
yes, right. That's what you had to do. Yeah. So did. Remote. What's that? How do you spell that? Back then, there's no such thing. Right? We had to get. I want to watch Channel 7. Don't let that TV be all the way over there. Damn. Yeah, I was the remote, actually. Yeah. You know, so, but we fast forward, and then again, these modern conveniences, going back to your world, are all a must, but they can be a distraction. So knowledge, definitely. I wouldn't care how sharp you are as an IBM and like Steve Jobs, I too. Yeah, but you better have, like you said, I better have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding to that. So the peace of those who just came. Again, peace and family. No, that's okay. That's okay. It's a righteous interruption. Right. So thank you again. Yeah, thank you again, Infinite. Just kind of bring up to speed. We were kind of like, well, we were dealing with technology, but its origin. But we were also dealing with the basic, the rudiments of the mathematics, the history of who we are. Just kind of bringing people up to speed regarding that. Okay, so King, who was the founder? Okay. What year did this nation start? 1964. Okay, good. 1964. Yes. You have your hand up?
Yeah. Is it Clinton in 13?
No, absolutely not.
I just wanted to ask.
Law's his name. Law, that's his honorable name. But when he came to us, when he came to us, he introduced himself as our law.
Right.
We're adamant about that
Right.
because it's in that knowledge that he introduces us to our righteous names through this knowledge and wisdom.
True.
Right. So I get, and 13X, that was when he was in the temple.
Yeah, I only
he
asked
left.
because I used to study Gods and Nations of Earth like when I was 16, like I was in high school, so I never forgot a lot of stuff, but I just always try to get the pure truth and understanding.
Okay, well you here.
Right.
Well you here.
Right.
And also, no disrespect to dispel some things.
Understand.
Right, got you, right.
Please.
So, we were dealing with the foundation, but we dealt with many things, thanks to young God here, King, who was leading us in this journey, right? Peace to him, to you. And what's the young queen's name?
Maya.
Maya, peace Maya, welcome. That's right, thank you for coming. Yeah, back in the bringing the family to honor. Also, let me also add, tomorrow at 2 p.m. we have our parliament. If you can make it, please do. Our parliament is on 134th Street between Adam Clayton Powell and Frederick Douglass, right? At 2 p.m. PS 92, right? 222 West 134th Street. Mary McLeod Methune is the school. And we're there from 2 to, we have toy giveaway, we have a toy thing too. Kind of give you kind of brief history of that. We're a culture, so we're not a religion, so we're not into holidays, but what we are into is not depriving the children, you know what I mean, of, their right to have their day in joy.
Right.
We ain't talking Santa, Christmas tree. Okay, that's what you want to do, that's what you know. But
Right.
we teach the culture. But we understand we connected to all human families. And that would be definitely unfair. You know what I mean? That, you like, okay, God, where's my present? You know what I mean? Now listen, so since we're giving them toys in the present, you want to also give them what, King?
Knowledge.
Ooh! Ooh, King knocking us out today. King knocking us out. Thank you for leading me today, man. King actually led this class, man. Thank you, man. Yes. So along with your present, we want to give you that too. And a lot of times, the knowledge is not always sometimes verbatim. Verbatim means, I'm
Word
just,
for word.
yes, I'm
Right.
talking to you, right? You know what I mean? It might be the way I just came in, they providing some food here today, okay, and we did, you're welcome. You know what I mean? I sat in the classroom, I listened, I like the way they was walking, I like to close it, all that's called culture. So we provide that to you, and that's important. And it's through that you see knowledge as well. Of course you're going to hear and audibly what someone's saying, you know what I mean? But it's important that we also, important that you see that. So we invite you, tomorrow at 2 p.m. It's going to be cold, so dress warm. We're talking 27 degrees. So, yeah.
It's got a dress, but that's not cold to me.
Yeah. Until they talk about 27 with wind chill factor 50. Then you like, that's 1 degree. Yeah, you talking a different tune then. I don't know if we call them. Is it your Zoom? No, stop. Yeah, but stop. No, so but we're there in the cold, in the snow. And going back to my point, why? Oh, I'm glad you used that word Zoom. Why? Because knowledge needs to be presented. So before the family came in, beautiful, thank you, we were talking about technology and its purpose, right? And then I'll just go on to, so when COVID hit us, right, like the world, right, we had lost Harriet Tubman and many schools because nobody was opening their schools. That's where we hold our parliaments. We went around New York, so we like, well, how do we hold? Because how we hold a parliament is just like this. We need people to come. But how do you do that when we're being told that there's no gathering of people? That's forbidden. So someone came up with a rocket idea. We Zoom the parliament, right? Who doesn't have a phone or computer in this day and time, right? Remember I was telling you about when I was coming up, no such thing. You know?
Black and white TVs.
Yeah. Right. You know, right. And you were really poor, we couldn't have a TV then, right? But here we are, right? So we were able to get together and see each other through that. Although I'm old school, I like nothing like this. I like to, even though we simultaneously, while we're doing this live, I have the phone, Facebook, if you friended me, and then you have YouTube, you have Infomega doing the YouTube. So people are able to capture what's going on here. So this is where we are now. Technology is important. It's important that you learn how to navigate through it too. A lot I still need to learn. Didn't know how to type at first. I don't even know they even use that word. If that word is even. Okay, yes, that word is still good? Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't want to sound like, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Where's I at? That's my favorite line. What was I just saying?
You're just talking about how we have to continue. You know, how you have to adjust to like technology and everything.
Okay, right. I do that. I've seen your moments. Yes, I do. Yeah, but I also paying attention is what was prerequisite. One of the definitions of acquiring the knowledge is us looking, listening, and observing. That's how we go get it. You go get anything in that matter, something that you like to do. I'm there. How do you do this? And then, it's your willingness to want it. And that's how those other things will come into play. But again, yes, technology is important because we're in the 21st century. Again, I was just kind of going into that prior to the family coming in. But now in those days where, you scream to holler down the block. In fact, I could FaceTime you. Where you at? So I don't know where. Oh, you say here? And I could, no, around the corner. I could, just where we are. But we also know, again, that knowledge is introduced to you also through that. But just like I was telling the young king there, and all of you, Maya, Jamel, right? All of you are here. Rasan. Rise King, yourself, whoever's young, yeah, let me try to grab their brains. Let me try to distract you from, if I can get you off your course. Right. If I can get you, I can distract. Yes. I mean, you know, paranoia. That's real. Anything. So even in that, because again, I'm baffled with technology, and again, I always bring this analogy up. Wrong. Example, not analogy. I'm baffled at how a 4, 5-year-old child or younger in a stroller can navigate through a phone and an iPad. Like, the child's crying. The first time I kind of caught that. The child was crying. Mother said, "Here, bow. Just give me see the book for a minute." Just gave the child the book, because the baby in the stroller, because I'm looking at, why would you give her that? You serious? Child like, what? Click, move, rock. I'm moving the hand like, baby shark, dee 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 dee. I said, what? I can't even get to the next page on my phone or whatever. This child is like through an iPad. Look, power, on, wait, turn, move this up, whack, boom, back, oh, drop. This is where I want to be. Wow. And this way, and which also shows you the development of children, where they are now. You know what I mean? We weren't there. Why? The technology wasn't there. So our system of learning was different. But you find, and again, like I said, anyone in here, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm saying something wrong to anyone, because I'm making this statement, anyone in here lets you lose your phone, your whole facial expression changes.
Yeah.
What? I wouldn't care. It could be a Verizon $9.50 phone, right? Lose that, right? Because you could do, on that, just that alone, you can. I can get Wi-Fi, and if I can get Wi-Fi, I'm good. I can get Wi-Fi, bet, right? So so an adult, an iPhone 16, I'm gonna need to tell him to calm down a little bit too. In there, I got it. You got it? Yeah. Just tell him, man. Yeah. I don't care, just kind of, National Mall in there. Back in the day when I was coming up, yeah, I'm trying to get into that, So my statement was, let you lose your phone.
That's a person's whole life.
Basically.
Right.
Basically.
And their memory. Like, a lot of people don't write stuff down.
Right, no, we said that earlier, yes.
Right.
Yes, Deshaun.
Right.
Yes, right. And it's take that too, and that's important. Now I remember how to turn that phone on. I bet you I know how to do that. I know how to get in that computer, so any one of us.
Right.
Right? But I'm not them days where it was important, like, what's your number? And I had a pad of paper, and then I memorized it. Your brain, in fact, at one point, your brain had volumes of information.
Your brain is the computer.
Yes. In fact, okay, what was our, what was it? Our iPad, you know what an iPad was? I think I'm using the wrong analogy. It was a big telephone book.
Yup, yellow, 9 names.
Yellow pages.
Yup.
Yeah.
Bella Glam.
Okay, you looking for Mustafa Muhammad. And there's a million Mustafa Muhammad. Okay, where?
Word.
Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Bedford and Nostrand. Okay, now we narrowed it down. 718-526. Now here you go. Yo, Mustafa? Yeah, what's going on? Right.
It was a legit book.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
What?
Here we go. That's right. And you start off with the right word. What? Go ahead.
How would you have to like get a new a telephone book every day, because if you didn't have every single number?
Yeah, and most businesses, if the book was this big,
Right.
everybody got them.
came out every month.
Along with your TV guide.
Some numbers were unlisted.
Unlisted. Right. Forgot about those. The white, people white, right?
You got the white pages and
The yellow pages.
the yellow pages was the businesses. The white pages was the personal.
The personal, yeah.
Because you had non-nets, you had Bell Atlantic, you had non-nets, you had Bell Atlantic. And every day, like where I used to live in Davidson, in the Bronx, right? There used to be stacks of non-nets books, telephone books. Like, I'll give you another example. A lot, like for me, I'm using myself, right? I know how to spell, I know how to write, I know how to read, but I get confused when I'm trying to type a text because it gives me the definition of the word. I don't like that because that makes you lazy. And my point where I'm going with this is, I love technology, I love computers, but they have their disadvantages and their advantages. They make people lazy, they make you not want to read. So what I do, when I get a phone, I get a pad, I just write everything on.
Okay.
I know if I lose it, I got it right back.
Well, they're tools,
Right.
yes, beautiful. So what I did, yes, excellent.
Right.
Excellent example, Jay. So they're tools you still use in spite of our advanced stages of technology. Right? You still use that. Why? Because, like we just learned, if you were 5% in here, your brain is a must. Yes.
I just want to build on a point with like
Yes.
technology and kids. I feel like there has to be some type of discipline while using technology because there's kids out here that know how to use the iPad but still can't read.
Whoa.
Like,
Yes, yes,
Whoa.
yes,
can't do math. So I feel
Whoa.
like there's
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
that's
where
what
there's
you
screen time, and then you have to be able to be involved in what your children are partaking in when they are dealing with
Interesting
technology.
point.
That's another
Because there's a lot of idiocracy on the internet, and then there's a lot of lies and
right,
foolishness. So you gotta be able to have somebody that has the discernment to be able to tell you what's wrong and right, or guide the children in the right, maybe to use the proper apps and stay away from certain
Got you.
videos on YouTube and such. Because
Wow.
you could watch a Baby Shark video and it turns into something completely else.
Yes, you can.
If you're
you
not
can.
paying attention to it.
Yeah,
So it's
because the
like-
devil again is in the details.
Yeah, there's a lot
Right.
of kids out here who
Yes,
can't read
yes.
but can use the computers and things to me.
Great. Come back to that. Yes, please.
And to add on to her,
Add on to her. Go ahead, God.
like she said that they can't read, but some don't even know how to spell, but can type can type because you can know the first letter of a word and it'll come out on the
Whoa!
first
Look at
page.
y'all. Yes. We got look. Here you go.
I'm an adult.
Here you go. Right here. I'm an adult.
Low key dependent on it sometimes.
I know this woman. Yes, and then you can ask me spell Connecticut.
What's crazy is you have apps for that too. You got like Grammarly.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They give you the
Or
answer
just
to
chat
words.
GPT.
Okay. Look at y'all. Y'all teaching me now. Okay. Look at y'all.
It got to a point where they have like this AI thing. People are using it to like write like their essays for school.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like got the eye.
Yeah, that, and they have this thing. It's called a humanizer. It makes it look like a human wrote it, so it can't be detected by AI detectors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, y'all gotta start writing some of this stuff down. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, please.
But to add on to that, which to her point, I worked in a school briefly and taught, and a principal came in and stopped me from teaching penmanship. She said, we don't do that anymore, because the kids, aside from not reading, which is important, writing, if you can't write, you can't read. And these children, I wasn't even allowed to teach them penmanship. And you know, we had a specific class growing up, you had to do penmanship, you had to practice in
That's what he
I
person.
said.
say that 'cause,
I learned penmanship.
when I was living in New York as a kid, I never learned script. And my mom moved me to Jersey, and I didn't know how to write script. They held me back the entire grade because I
Just
didn't
for
know how to
that.
write
Yeah,
script.
penmanship.
So they
Yeah,
put it in
crazy.
place so you
I don't
don't
know,
teach your kids
it's
that. And they're like, you need to give them the iPad. That's the new wave. That's the new.
Right, and then what happens is, okay, like we go to Dave's point. So there are, fortunately, there utilizing systems that still work. For lack of a better term, manually, right? That your system you can use. Okay, let me remember. Let me write some stuff down. Then it's important also, right? Listen to this. See, y'all taught me. Thank you for that. I'm gonna write some stuff down. You just said you and the young girl. I got your hand. Give me 1 second, young king. But see again, I'm not trying to cause paranoia. It's important This is where we are. My older brothers, the older guards, when we were coming up, don't take a picture of me. I'm no internet. Don't la la la. Say stop it, man. They knew who you are when you was 5, so knock it off. But this is where we are in technology. But just like I was at you when you were doing penmanship, and I was at you before these things. Now that you have grown, you got to watch how look. The young guy was just telling me, correct me if I'm wrong, where you have mechanisms in place that create apps that can distract you and stop the AI.
It's AI thing, so they have like something called ChatGPT. You could tell it to literally write me an essay about this, and that, and it'll write you an essay about it. And then it could tell you.
Oh, good way of cheating.
It's cheating.
It's cheating. A good way of cheating. Okay. Oh, I didn't catch that part. Thank you. So let me go. Huh?
Plagiarism.
If you use it correctly,
If you
use it correctly with the knowledge you already have, it enhances your capability in the speed at which you could get things done. So it's not
could be
necessarily
cheating. It could be cheating.
Oh, you're right. You're correct. Yes, God.
Like a calculator.
I got your hand, God. The king was next. Go.
To add more onto the AI point, I know like people in my grade who are using Goth AI to write race responses. Like you could say, write me a 5-sentence race response about women's suffrages. I don't know. That's a book that I read in class.
Holding and all. Go get friends.
And it will write you a whole thing.
Yes.
And then you could use it. And then there's like a setting, I believe, that you can make it look like not so advanced.
Technical or advanced.
Not so.
Dumb it down.
To dumb it down, so then they just copy it down on their race response paper, give it to the teacher, and the teacher won't know.
Right. So now, on both instances, the God, introduce yourself, God.
Peace. I'm General Bar Sheikh, J. Bar, the teacher of law.
All right.
I'm also a teacher in the DOE. What the young brother said definitely made sense. However, they have software that can tell if it was AI generated.
But you would need the software.
You would need the software.
You would need the software.
Most teachers have it though.
Yeah.
And you're right. You can have a professional tone of voice, a casual tone of voice. You can also upload several of your own documents. Teach AI to speak in your natural tone. Thus, will be less able to be detectable. So you're 100% right in what you're saying as well.
Let me use an example too. Peace. I'm Master IC God. So I use AI for work. I teach AI. I basically work as an instructor right now, teaching cybersecurity classes. Okay. So I use AI. So I'll tell you.
When you finish, what cybersecurity is on it too.
Oh.
Yeah, when you finish.
Yeah. Just to mention what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Peace. Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
So as far as with AI, I know one time on my job, my manager has something to work on. He had to go to a big meeting. It was going to be a big meeting, something big in DC. But anyway, so he said to me, hey, I need you to write these talking points for this meeting I'm going to, right? And it had 10 questions on it. So I looked at the questions, and there was a few of them, I wasn't even sure what they were even asking. Mm-hmm. So I went into ChatGPT, and I asked it the question, okay. So basically, one of the questions was name a shared data, name an ontology, and how would you share data amongst multiple different entities and things like that, right? You see how you're shaking your head. What does this even mean? So I put it into the ChatGPT, and it basically came back and gave me an answer. But once it gave me the answer, I knew what the question was now. So I'm like, okay, now I understand.
So put it in layman's terms?
It put it in layman's terms, but it generated and stimulated my thought to where I knew in my mind using my intelligence and not relying on the intelligence of just the AI. Right. But it sparked my intelligence to say, I know what an ontology is. I know what ontologies we use, so I was able to speak now back in my language, using my intelligence to answer the question. I went back to my manager and I gave it to him. He read it over. He said, okay, brief this on me, brief everything to me, right? To get me prepared for the meeting. So brief me on the talking points. I briefed him. I told him, I said, look, this last question right here, I didn't even understand what it was asking. I went to ChatGPT and used it. He said, good for you. So basically, it comes down to it's a tool at the end of the day. You can build with it or you can destroy with it. If you don't use your own intelligence, then the AI will turn into anti-intelligence and destroy your language. But so that's not the way you want to use it. You don't want to just basically accept it on face value right, and basically just take the answers from it. You want to do the knowledge to it. One of the other second point I was going to bring up is, now when I teach cybersecurity classes, I teach the students on using it properly. I'm like, we can go to Google, we can go to Google Gemini as one AI. I can go to ChatGPT, ask it the same exact question, and sometimes come back with different results. So then I ask the class, because now I'm asking the class questions to get them to start thinking for themselves and engage in intelligence, and I ask them, which one is right and how do you know what's right? So a lot of times I don't get a response, and we're talking about 20, 30, 40, 50-year-old people that's in this class, right? Because the class I teach is the college level. So I don't even get good results. So I ask them, I say, okay, now that we're looking at both of them and you're looking at the results, you need to ask the program quote your sources. Please provide sources for all this information you provided. And I said, you can't even stop there. So I tell them to ask the system for the sources. I said, how do you even know if these sources is right? So now you need to go back and look up these sources. But then I said, even if you look at the sources, how do you know the sources is accurate? I'm asking the students these questions. I'm not teaching them nothing. I'm helping them to basically find the answers for themselves. Okay? So I'm like, how do you know the sources is right? Okay, so now you need to vet the sources. You need to basically be able to look at it and say, okay, what is my confidence in the source? Is it a low, moderate, or high confidence? But how would you even do that? So you need to basically go out to look at the source, see if it's fact-checked, peer-reviewed, see if it's something credible. Like, for example, when it's peer-reviewed, you share information out in an academic setting in a journal or something like that, and other people will review it, and they will basically chop it up. You know what I mean? They'll go through and debate with you about it. And so you basically come out to say, okay, is this something we agreed upon or not, right? So that's one way. You got to basically vet the sources, assign confidence. Also, you want to look at the track record for the source. You want to say, okay, out of 10 times you asked it a question, I'm talking about the sources now, authoritative. How accurate have they been in these 10 times? Have they been right 8 out of 10 times, 7 out of 10 times? So that helps you basically make an assessment of your confidence level as to low, moderate, or high. And then you want to know it's authoritative. So for example, especially in cybersecurity, we say, go with the authoritative sources. One authoritative sources is looking at the National Institute of Standards and Technology. It's a government-led organization from the Department of Commerce, but what they do is they source wisdom from the crowd. They bring together people from academia, from the government, from the private sector, from the military. So you have all these minds. Now it's peer-reviewed, it's cross-checked, it's fact-checked, because you have multiple people from different aspects in different industries, not just it's not a narrow or a singular-minded type of view, you know what I mean? You have a more narrow diversity, as they would say, in the business sense. You have more different diverse thoughts, all looking at something, and now you have something that's peer-reviewed and fact-checked from different standpoints, you see what I'm saying? So you source wisdom from the crowd. So I teach all of this to the students, but, all right, now cybersecurity. Cybersecurity basically is 2 words. Break it down very simply. You take the word cyber. Cyber is an umbrella term. Nowadays, we use all these electronic devices. So cyber basically encompasses all the electronic devices all connected, right? You're talking about computers, you're talking about smartphones, and how everything's all connected and communicating, how it's shared.
Everything on the internet.
Well, how everything is connected and sharing data, you know what I mean?
Oh, everything, right, okay.
Yeah.
More than the internet.
And when you talk about the internet, it's like, it gets deep into that, right? Like, what are we talking about? But we'll come back to that. So anyway, cyber is just all-encompassing, everything that's digital, that whole digital ecosystem. And then security, very simply, is you go to the mall, they got security guards. What are the security guards in the mall doing? They help protect and defend the merchandise, the stores, the consumers, the customers, the patrons, and all those things. So when you talk about cybersecurity, you're protecting and defending digital assets. From what? From people that's unauthorized, they shouldn't have access to it, right? You want to basically keep it all secure and protected. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, very simply.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, please.
Is it like is cybersecurity like a firewall?
Yeah, so firewall is one device you would use to do cybersecurity. Yeah, you know what a firewall is?
Like a block of, and like you can have a firewall on one specific thing. It's like a kind of like a password or something. Like it's like a second lock screen.
Okay. You looking at me? You know what a firewall is? So a firewall is an appliance. It could be software or hardware based, and pretty much what you do is the firewall is filtering the data that's coming into the network or coming into your system. So you can run a firewall hardware appliance on the perimeter of your network, and it's filtering and it's monitoring the network traffic and the data that's coming in and out of your network. Or you can run it on your actual endpoint system or your host computer, and you can run a firewall through software that way. So basically, so let me use this analogy, because I always do this, right? Sometimes in cyber, you can get into the realm of abstract, and people don't know what you're talking about because they don't have a reference. So let's use a reference point. When you look at a car has a firewall. There's a firewall that protects, that's between the engine and the compartment. So there's ever a car accident and someone gets hit from the front, and if the engine catches on fire, the firewall will stop the fire from spreading to the compartment so the person doesn't burn up. There's also firewalls that's in between row houses. When you have houses that's all interconnected, and there's a fire that catches on one side, the firewall will block and stop the fire from spreading to the next house. So that's a firewall. Now you take it into a digital sense, it's basically stopping and protecting the network from external things, from external threats you don't want coming in. That's how you got it. So now, yeah.
Great, man, great. Yes,
I
yes.
just want to elaborate what you was talking about with the cybersecurity, but also is that incorporated with cyber law too, right? Because
Yes.
you know we living under a big microscope right now. Everything is digital. Everything is, you know what I mean, computerized. But I just wanted to speak on that.
That's
I
a
know
good
a little
point.
bit about it.
Just real quick for a minute, just to answer this
Yeah,
question.
please,
So when you talk about law, you think about banks, you think about
Right.
health insurance companies. The
Right.
banks have a law called FINRA. Then there's also the DS, CSI. Don't quote me, but basically what the law is that any kind of business that processes credit card information,
Right.
they have to do certain things to protect
Right.
the systems
Right.
from the credit card information getting compromised because
As
that's
far
people's
as the
sensitive data.
hackers,
So
right.
that's a law. So the companies, the businesses are mandated by law to ensure they're complying with that
Right.
law.
Yeah.
Same thing with HIPAA, right? The Health Insurance Protection Act to stop people's personal information. So that's for the companies. So that goes back
Right.
to law, like you're saying. So
Right.
yeah, there's all types of laws and policies to protect and
Right.
ensure data
Yeah,
on the system.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
And just to bring it back, all laws coincide with the laws of free mathematics. Just to bring it full circle.
No,
True indeed.
thank you, God. Mine,
Yeah,
mine.
yeah.
Right.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mega did this.